Right then, this is a quick walk around video for a Honda CR-V 2.2 SE diesel, four-wheel drive car. This car's covered just 63,000 miles. Lovely service history on the car as well. Finished in urban titanium and in absolutely beautiful condition throughout. Going around the car for you, front of the car's really clean, lights and lenses clear, intact, no cracks or condensation in there. Front bumper very clean, likewise bonnet hardly exhibits a mark anywhere. Near side, passenger side, again lovely and smooth in the panel work. Bumper corners, bumper itself again all really clean at the back here. And to the off side of the car, driver's side, again just beautifully smooth in the panels, and it just does not look like a car that's now 10 years old. It is remarkably clean. Externally, it's befitting the miles, it's in absolutely fabulous condition. Coming to the boot now, absolutely cavernous of course. You've got the easy fold rear seats at the back with the levers, and it's all very tidy back here. Coming to the back of the car, wide opening rear doors, enormous amounts of leg room. The video and the pictures make the centre of the seats look slightly purpley or pink. They're not, they're black, so ignore that. I don't know why it does it with the phone, but there you go, full set of mats as well fitted to the car. And unlike so many in the back of the CR-Vs where the kids sit, that's in lovely condition. Let's come to the front and the passenger side, again all lovely and clean. Passenger seat, lovely condition. Finally, the driver's door card, again beautifully clean, as is the driver's seat itself. Again, centre of the seats looks pinky purpley, it isn't. Inside the car now, engine's running through this section as always, so the dash can be seen illuminated. Dashboard again in absolutely beautiful condition. Pop the car into reverse, get that rear parking camera which complements the front and rear parking sensors on the car, but it has been kept absolutely beautifully. And then up to the dash binnacle, hopefully you can see 63,385 miles, and there are no warning lights on at all. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key are both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V. It's a 2.2 SE diesel. This particular car is registered OE62OBU, and with a mileage of just 63,378 recorded. The reason we do all of our videos, especially this road test section, is to ensure that if anyone's online looking at this car in the advert, they actually get to see the advertised car in operation. The reason we feel it's important is because we know to our cost, unfortunately, as many people have, where we've been to go and see cars which have looked perfectly good, only to get there and find out when you drive it, it's got a fundamental issue which you would much rather known about before setting off. So hence that's why we do it. We also do it on these very quiet country roads, very close to our premises, and this actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, so hopefully then we'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, as you'll know from the advert, it's been extraordinarily well looked after in terms of servicing, and it feels it straight away. The engine starts instantly and settles to a completely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. And temperature gauge is currently not moved because it's stone cold, because I like to do the videos when I can when the cars are cold, so because obviously different issues can show up at different temperatures, so that's why I do it. But the engines are brilliant diesels, they really are. It's all the things you want and hope from a Honda in terms of reliability and longevity, and you know, by a country mile it's the best in that way, that respect, in its class. But also it's a lovely engine to use day in day out, far smoother revving than you'd expect of a diesel. Only at low speeds, low RPMs, are you aware really that it is a diesel. Once you're up and going, it's when you put your foot down, there's none of that kind of grumbling and dieselness that you get with so many of its competitors. And also, it's got a wonderful power delivery. You got that thrust you get from diesels with the torque and the turbo, but it keeps revving. It's not one of these where it just dies away afterwards, but just a fabulous unit. And it sounds as sweet as it would have done when it was new, by the way. It's incredibly tight. Same goes for clutch and gearbox. Clutch is perfect on the car, bite point exactly where it's meant to be. It's lovely and smooth in operation as well. Gearbox, 6-speed manual gearbox as you'd expect. Having the gear lever up relatively high is really nice, because the gear lever falls perfectly to hand. So I'm just going to wait for someone to come by. I don't want to apply it on anyone. But the actual quality of gear change is simply superb, and an object lesson to other manufacturers in how to do it, because it's short and throw. It's got a lovely kind of mechanical, engineered feel to every input, even the shape of the gear lever, the weighting of it. It's perfection in my opinion. But that is opinion. What isn't opinion is the fact that it feels as new in all terms, in terms of how it actuates. Steering of the car, tracks dead straight. There's absolutely no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. Again, Honda give you a really nice car to drive. The CR-V, I can't remember, it's something like 6 million other things have been sold. It's amazing. It's the best-selling SUV in the world, and it's very easy to see why, because when you get into them, they feel lovely and very car-like to drive. Some SUVs can feel quite like driving a commercial van, a bit detached, a bit lollopy through the corners. CR-V's steering is where it all starts. It's very accurate and precise, but really nicely weighted, which makes it feel very secure on the road, even at the higher speeds, where again some of its competitors can start to sort of feel very floaty and unpleasant. This doesn't. It just tracks through corners brilliantly well, but also offers a very comfortable and compliant ride. Sometimes it's very hard to get the two together, but Honda have achieved it. And as I say in loads of my videos, it is to my eternal frustration that the motoring press generally don't understand the Hondas and the sort of genius in some of the things they do, but also Honda aren't expecting this to be a sports car. It isn't. It is a brilliant family SUV. This section of road, which is why I try and wait to talk about it, is akin to the surface of the moon. It's an appalling surface, but it's a very good place to listen out for any sort of rattles or clonks that shouldn't be coming from underneath the car, and there's nothing at all. It's absolutely as solid as a rock. I'm going to give the brakes a good old shove, so bear with me. Nice and powerful. Wow, they are good. Really solid brake pedal. There's no vibrations or pulsing come from the brake pedal at all, and it bites absolutely perfectly. Coming inside the car, unfortunately it's gone really dull, so I hope you can see clearly. It's one of those days where it just suddenly just feels like the end of the world's come. But it's just such a beautifully built interior. They are such solid cars. No rattles, no squeaks. You got brilliant visibility out of the car in all directions. It really is fantastic. You feel very confident on the road. Massive wing mirrors helping you sort of place the vehicle perfectly without changing lane, without just squint to see if anything's coming behind you. The main dash itself, beautifully constructed as always. Build quality is sensational in here. Everything's working perfectly. Dual zone climate control system. Checked in a nice warm workshop a second ago, and that pumps out lovely cold air. Everything's just so simple. That's what I love about getting in these cars, especially this vintage. You just get in, you've got a nice big radio, all working exactly as it should. All the buttons have a wonderful quality of actuation to them. It is a supremely built car, and it's these little details that add up in the long term of ownership, which, you know, you get some cars and they can look nice, but then you start pressing things and realising that a lot of this stuff's actually incredibly cheap. You know, directly in front of me, the dash binnacle, really nicely labelled and detailed, imparts the information perfectly. It's minimalist in a way, but it's very nicely done. Temperature gauge, by the way, now running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be when up to operating temperature. Multifunction steering wheel, small in diameter and leather bound, feels absolutely as new to hold. Cruise control works perfectly on a car. The whole car has just been kept absolutely wonderfully. We've not even cleaned it yet, and it hardly needs cleaning at all. It's in just gorgeous condition in here. It's a credit to its last owner. One button you'll see notice an absence of. The 2.2s, they are four-wheel drive, but you don't select it, it does it for you. Honda again very quickly worked out that the vast majority of people buying these cars drive around as I am today, whether in rainy conditions or not. You don't need four-wheel drive on. The problem with having permanent four-wheel drive, of course, is that it uses more fuel, it chews up its tyres more quickly, and it puts more mechanical stress on the vehicle. This basically is genius. It runs in front wheel drive pretty much the whole time, which is the most efficient way to pull a car along. But what it does is, if the front wheels do start to lose grip, let's say on a bit of mud or snow or ice, it instantly, before you can react, brings in the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive seamlessly, and it is fantastic in the way it operates. I have a CR-V, my wife has a CR-V, we tow a caravan, and we did this already this winter across some pretty muddy stuff, and we've never come close to getting stuck with one, nor in 30 years of selling Hondas using this system have we ever so much as put a spanner on one of these systems for the four-wheel drive. So it is particularly robust, helped by the fact that obviously it's not been used that much. As I said at the start of the video, the point is only brief, is just to show the car operating, but to let you know of any issues there may be, of which there's nothing at all. It drives as tight as a drum, this car. Whoever gets it next will be taking on a very, very fine car indeed. But as always, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate, give us a call.